I'll put up another player in just a second, but just to show you your balance. This is what I was telling you on the chicken wing that day. And I was talking to David. If you got typically two flaws of the dress. One is you don't start enough behind the ball. So that line is 90 degrees. And I show you every good ball striker that shoots 70 or below.
So what should be over? Like it's my upper part of my body, so I'm moving more like this behind the ball? Or what?
I'll come back to this in just a second. How tall are you?
Huh?
I'm trying to find if I can get somebody in here that's similar in height. You're hitting the pitching wedge, right? I don't think I have any. I think I have moved it to pitching wedge. Maybe. Let me see real quick. I have to keep talking and then we cut off. No, that's not pitching wedge. Alright, this is a pitching wedge. Alright, so I'm going to put me in the same box. And look at the difference of the dress. So ball position number one needs to go a little bit more forward. So that line is actually a little bit behind center. Look at my line. It's a little bit in front. This line right here, that ball line.
So is that foot position and everything expecting that?
Anytime that you hit the ball on the ground, if you really want to create any power, you need to be behind the ball. You can't
Right. But I mean, what all is different then?
Ball position, my ball position is more forward in my stance than yours.
Okay.
So if you looked at from my left heel to my right heel, that ball is closer to the front foot than it is the back foot. If I did the same thing with you, see the difference of the ball is? And then the second thing is your head, right now, is in front of the ball. Mine's behind it. You see how lofted that club is? It's still a wedge.
Oh, if you move your whole body over, that's gonna.
And if you move the ball in your body, right, so when I took the club back, I put it into my back swing right there. See yours? Because usually when you start in front of it, and some of it's ball position too, you have to sway. So you went forward first, right? Forward. Now you're going to go to the right. So you actually got to a pretty good position if the ball was in the right position. If the ball wasn't so far back, let's just move the ball for a second. I'm going to change colors. So let's say that the ball position was here, right? I'll change the colors.
It didn't appear that I went as far down as what I was doing.
No. Good. But you end up in the right position as far as your turn in your body. I know you're only hitting a pitching wedge. I'm hitting a pitching wedge too. The difference is because your ball position is so far back, you had to sway back to get behind it. I stayed in the box because my ball position was slightly more forward, so I just turned in the same position. So you swayed a little back. Right? So now I'm going to change directions and go back the other way. So if you watch my left hip, so that's what's really starting the downswing, is that bumping of the left hip back to the left. I'm going to stop it right there. All right, let's do you to that same position. This is your downswing. So what's starting your downswing? So your hips are actually just turning in a circle. Let me see your left knee. But there's no linear, or you're not getting on your left foot. So if you're not on your left foot and you're on your back foot, you have to create your power, your leverage from the top, because you're still sitting on your right foot. So all you did from here was, because you're out of sequence, is you're just swinging your arms and your hands, right? So when you get back to the ball, and stop it. I'll stop mine when I get to the ball. So my head's still in the box. You just did it. I just did it. Right, so let's talk about the commonalities first, right, if there are any.
I was gonna say.
Where's my head from where it started?
Yours didn't move very far.
So here's where it started. It moves slightly to the back. It moves slightly back forward. But by the time I hit it, I'm back in the box. Right, so you started, let's watch. You started in front of the ball with your head. And you went down a little bit and then back to get behind it. And now you've got to stay behind it, but you can see your foot. Look at your left foot. So that tells me that you're a spinner instead of a shifter. So you're still on your back foot. So you can tell that all your weight's still on your right foot. See that?
Yeah. I probably have to spin like that so I can stay on my balance so I don't fall backwards.
Right. So what we have to work on is ball position first, so that you're starting behind the ball. And when you turn, you've got to feel like that you're just turning back and not swaying back. Just turn back. If you're behind it already, you don't have to sway. But then the second thing, the most important thing we have to work on is transition, the sequence to the downswing. And that's starting from your feet, starting lateral. There's a bump to the left. And now it's going to start becoming rotary. You don't ever bump to the left. You can see your hips never even got to that line. They do it in that. Your foot's still on the ground. So the only thing you can do when you release the club first, right, you use your arms and your hands first, all you can do is pull it through because you've already released it, right? So you're still holding on to it. Yeah. So since I'm doing it more with my big muscles, I'm going to release the club last. Where's my weight? So our right arm is almost gone the same amount, so I've released the club, we've held on to it. My weight all the way on top of my left leg, and you're still back here. Let's see how that affects the path. We talked about this a little bit last time. I forgot what number it was. Okay. Alright, so if you start from the top, so that's an okay position. You know, that's not something that we need to change. Right, let's look at from the top here. Oops, sorry. That's not a wedge, sorry. I need to find a wedge. It's the shortest one. So this is a sand wedge. Right, so our arm swing, similar. We went a little bit further back than I did. Right, so let's watch transition just for a second. I want you to watch my left foot and my left knee. You see how it's starting to move forward? You see it go forward? But that's what allows my body, my arms to move in the proper order or the proper sequence for the club to move down. If you start from the top, so here's your transition right here. Oh, that's your practice one, sorry. So here we go down. Which way is it going? Up. So think about it this way. A linear moves, find out what linear means. It means this way. I'm hitting it this way. If you get to the top and you go rotary first, and then your hips, your shoulders, and your arms, so there's the second. If we go linear first, remember how we practice that word just going, rapid move, just going. Drop the elbow, drop the elbow, then turn and release. So we gotta get this. That's what gets you in trouble with your path. So anytime you go outside, you'll always release the club first versus left. And that's what causes that left elbow to pull in versus the club release over. Right, so posture was the first thing we talked about. Right, so let's I know I'm a little taller than you. Look at the difference in the leg position. Yeah, you need to feel taller in your legs. Because I think that creates some of your lack of ability to be stable with your legs, and your sequence gets kind of messed up there. You're taller because you're kind of sitting on your heels when you say that. Yeah. If I went back like this versus, so you're going to feel more on the balls of your feet. Second thing is your ball position. If we get the ball slightly more forward, it's easier to turn behind it and stay behind it versus sway behind it. If you start in front of the ball and the ball's back over here, you're going to go move behind it. So you end up moving lateral. Really, the only biomechanic that was the only thing that I think we struggle with, really, other than setup, is your change of direction. That's really the biggest key. It's how do I get you to feel on your left foot? I showed you your practice swing. You shift your weight every time. The club swings underneath. And then you put that little white thing there, and what happens?
Let's kill it.
All right. So